This is a special presentation of the Ticats Audio Network.
This is a special presentation of the Ticats Audio Network. I'm the voice of the Ticats, RJ Broadhead, and joined by head coach of the Ticats, Scott Milanovich. Scott, when you hear head coach of the Tiger Cats, what comes to mind?
Feels great. Black and gold, I grew up with it. Grew up in Pittsburgh and Steeler fans in the family. And I think somebody asked me, I think it might have been Steve, asked me when I first got up here in training camp, how'd it feel to come over to the dark side? I said, it feels like home to me. I grew up in a steel town, so feels like I'm coming full circle here.
Absolutely. And what he was referencing, because you coached in Toronto, your first year as the head coach in 2012, you won the Grey Cup. So our first year's lucky?
Let's hope so. I mean, Jason Moss, first year, right, in Montreal. Yes. So that's the goal. That's the plan. Speaking
of Jason Moss, that 2012 coaching staff, do you ever look back at that? You know, O was with you, Jason Moss was there, Mike O'Shea, Chris Jones, like so many guys who went on to be head coach. Do you ever look at that coaching staff and think that was an all-star coaching staff?
It definitely was, and there were guys like Steve McAdoo that went on to be coordinators, and Jason Shire. You know, it was a great staff. It was a magical year. A lot of those guys are still close friends, and as you mentioned, they've gone on to have a lot of success in the league.
And you have a great offensive mind. You've been an offensive coordinator in the CFL as well. You've been a quarterbacks coach. Pretty good resume with quarterbacks who you've coached in the CFL. When you look at Ricky Ray, Trevor Harris, Zach Caleros, Cody Fajardo, it's pretty good list. How proud are you when you look back at some of those names and how great they developed into their careers?
Yeah, don't forget Anthony Calvillo.
Yes.
Yeah, some of those guys you can't take a lot of credit for. Anthony was pretty good when I got him. Ricky, I think we reinvigorated Ricky's career, but even both Hall of Fame players, elite, Mount Rushmore, the CFL and quarterbacks. Got a chance to develop some of these younger guys with Zach, still doing great in the league. Trevor, obviously, those guys are still remain friends. And I'm very proud of those guys and what we were able to accomplish, and hopefully we can build the same things here.
Things happen fast, don't they, Scott? When you look back to a year ago, just kind of joining the Tiger Cats as a senior advisor, and you and I talked, and you were basically scouting the opposition. Mm-hmm. And when you look back over this year, how beneficial was that you got to know some of the teams, then you got a half a season in the playoffs as really knowing the offense with the Tiger Cats?
Yeah, really beneficial. I mean, the plan was twofold. It was for me to be an extra set of eyes and ears for O, but also from a selfish standpoint, it gave me a chance to get back into the league and, as you say, just get familiar with what defenses are doing now, what the talent level's like, and what types of things are going to work. So now that we're sitting here today, more valuable than I would have ever thought.
Was that always your goal, to get back in a head coaching position?
Yeah, and head coaching position wasn't, necessarily the thing that had to be. I was happy to come back here as O's coordinator. I did know that I wanted to get back into the CFL. It's where I've had the most fun in my career coaching, and like I said earlier, it feels like home.
Looking at your resume, experience with NFL, NFL Europe, XFL, Arena League, CFL, with your offensive mind, are you able to, because there's little nuances in all the leagues, are you able to pick little things out and bring it to the CFL?
For sure. I think the 6 years I spent in the NFL were really beneficial. I had been in a similar offense with Mark Trestman in Montreal, and then when I became the head coach in Toronto, I kind of made that system my own, but it was still a similar system. And I have had the opportunity the last 6 years to be in different offenses with different coordinators and different management and learn different ways to do things that I can now mesh with a full training camp. It was hard to do during the season, but with a full training camp, I think I can do some things differently than I've done them in the past in the CFL. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
So you got a good chance to see the team really up close. Maybe your evaluation on how the season ended and heading into next season, what you'd like to see improve.
Yeah, and I think there was a lot of improvements. One of the first things that when I was coming up here, O sent me a statistical chart. One of the things was penalties. One of the things was turnovers. And those were the first 2 bullet points I kind of talked to the offense about was, hey, let's not try to fix everything right now. Let's get better with the turnovers and let's get better with penalties. And slowly but surely, some of those things happened. We started playing really good defense. We got on a little bit of a run. Just not enough at the end, just not enough stability at the quarterback position throughout the time. And, injuries happen in this league, and you see the same thing in the NFL right now. You can't keep a quarterback healthy. So not excuses, but it's hard to build continuity when you got different people in and out all the time.
Yeah, Tiger Cats, it's happened for a couple of years where you're getting down to a third-string quarterback. Taylor Powell was young. He was moldable, I would assume. You had a chance to work with him pretty closely, and I know seems pretty excited that you're going to be the head coach of the Tiger Cats. To have a young quarterback like that and see the progression, was that satisfying for you?
It was. I liked Taylor when I saw him in training camp. I had always been of the opinion, guys like Zach and Trevor, they sat for a number of years and got to learn this league. It is different. So I had hoped for Taylor's sake he didn't have to play this year, but he did. And I thought he did an amazing job. And there's things that he needs to work on. He and I have talked about him. There's things he can do to improve. But for a rookie, in the position he was thrust into, he's very coachable. He's there early. He loves the game, and that's a great starting point. He's accurate. The number one thing you need to be as a quarterback. And so I'm excited about him. He's got some things he needs to work on, and we've discussed that.
And you had a chance to work with all the quarterbacks with the Tiger Cats last year. Does that help you going into 2024 with kind of a game plan, what you want to do?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, just having an idea what those guys can and sometimes can't do, it's always just good information. I think they're all talented quarterbacks. Loved what Matt was able to do. Bo, I didn't have as much time with because of the injuries, but Bo can still throw it. He's still accurate. He's highly intelligent. He's got leadership. So all those things I think will help us as we make decisions going in the future.
So pretty early in December, day one, announced as the head coach of the Tiger Cats. When does Scott Milanovich start really digging in and getting to work?
Well, I think as soon as this press conference is over, I think we're going to start getting to work. We got to get a staff put together. We've got to make decisions on our free agents, and that'll help guide us through free agency with the rest of the league. There's a ton of things that need to be done in a quick period of time. And first thing is I've got to start building relationships with guys on the defensive side of the ball, which I have some, but when you're an offensive coordinator, you're dealing mostly with just those players. The positive for me is that I wasn't coming from another organization, so I do know a lot of the people in this building. I know, obviously, everybody on offense. I know so we're starting, I think, a leg up, but there's still a ton of work to do.
So for you, you've been announced head coach. What are your goals? I know fans want to hear Grey Cup, but what are your goals? What are your expectations?
Well, to me, there only is one expectation. It's not something I spend a lot of time talking to the team about, but we're here to win championships, and that's my focus. That's my mission, is to bring championships to this city, into this fan base, into this organization, and I know it's been a while. I've seen it happen, and the turnarounds can happen quickly. We win 18 games and don't win the Grey Cup, it's not going to be considered a success to me. So that's just the way I'm built. That's the way I was raised.
So are you looking forward to talking to the Ticats Audio Network every single day?
Can't wait.
Well, Scott, congratulations on being the head coach of the Tiger Cats, and best of luck. Looking forward to chatting with you every day.
I appreciate it. Thanks, RJ.
This has been a special presentation of the Ticats Audio Network. If you like what you're hearing, please rate and review wherever you find our content.